explain about the importance of English. The importance of mastering the TOEFL, and I will explain about pronouns. It is so important to learn English, especially for education and the future. This is because English is one of the languages used internationally by many countries. In some countries, English is a second language for the people because the role of English as the language of international communication is very important for various exciting sectors, and Indonesia is one of the countries that is now making English a second language. Although not all Indonesia do it. Seeing Indonesia background as a country, this is historic and has cultural diversity makes Indonesia one of the destinations for foreign tourists. Why is learning English important? Learning English is very important, especially in terms of education. In addition to English, we can introduce the diversity of cultures and languages. Course want to know about this notation. There is a great need for English in the national and international arena. Here are some of the advantages of mastering English. 1. Great opportunity to get a job across for now. Finding suitable jobs is not easy, but if we are able to master two languages, it is a great opportunity for you to get a job. Well, as already explained, English play an important role in education and increasingly advanced era like this. For those of you who are still hesitant to learn to speaking English, try your double way. 2. Ready for tourists. Yes, for tourists of you who like traveling, this is one of the best. This is one of the best reasons to learn to speaking English. Why? Because as we already know, almost all parts of the world master English in interaction. If you have an interest in traveling abroad, by mastering English, you can usually socialize with the surrounding community. Of course, when recreation becomes so easy and fun. 3. Continue to higher education levels. Do you feel that there is not enough school in Indonesia? And are you going to active goals for higher education abroad? Speaking English here is one of the most important things, because of course you don't want to be alone in another country, for definitely need a friend. Might be lucky if you meet a friend who speaks Indonesia, but if you only stick to English language, are you sure you will able to master English? Millions of people have taken or know about the TOEFL test. Yes, TOEFL standard for test of English as a foreign language. This test is still one of the main benchmarks for understanding English. Thus, the TOEFL becomes a break for students or workers like you who want to continue their study or work in a country where English is the main language. More than 2,000 universities and institutions in 130 countries use the TOEFL test as one of the main assessment parameters. With the recognition of the TOEFL test a measure of assessment, of course, the test, which usually take about 4 hours, is very important to be taken seriously. The TOEFL test is break for those of you want to add experience and broaden your horizon by being in a new country. Here we summarize some the benefits of the TOEFL test. A. Break for studying in the land of people. Not only pursuing dreams at top universities in another countries, the TOEFL test is also a flash for those of you who want to add friends, school or work in a country that is far different from your country, Indonesia. The experience you get even if you only have a few years living in another country will be very memorable and will last in lifetime. The learning system in different ways of interaction will train you to be able to adopt the positive side of the system abroad and apply it in your life. 2. Touching a global perspective. Being abroad, away from home, will broaden the perspective. Your perspective on life will be much different because of the many new things you encounter. It will be very different to experience at firsthand what is happening in other countries compared to just reading or watching the news. Social interactions with another people will also broaden your global perspective because there are so many interesting traditions, cultures, and social aspects. All of this can only be realized if you manage to get a TOEFL score that meets the requirement. 3. Capability guarantee. If you study work in another country, the people you will have direct contact with are those who have never known you before. Maybe the only you know as a letter of introduction and recommendation that you include. It is at this point that the TOEFL test is very important, not only a form of intelligence test, but TOEFL is a guarantee that you can do academic assessment in an environment that speaking English. The learning system in foreign campuses usually requires used to read and speak a lot in English. Reading an essay in English must also be done as a requirement for a lecture. If a student does not meet the TOEFL requirement, he will be converted and failed to carry out his roles as a student. 4. Accurate evaluation. Of course, we can gauge how comprehensive a person your understanding of English is just by looking at how he is speaking or his grades in class, right? There are people who are very good at speaking but lack grammar and written tests. On the other hand, there are people who are very clever and master the structure of English but do not master conversation in English. Without the need to guess, this is where the role of the TOEFL, thus as accurate assessment and evaluation of one's understanding of English. Therefore, a person continuous speaking and reading can evaluate the abilities that we will use later in our academic environment. A good TOEFL score means you successfully following in English. 5. Feedback is quickly received. In just 10 to 15 days after taking the TOEFL test, you can feed up what TOEFL score you succeed in achieving. The assessment is based on its question category. So, can you know exactly which part you are good at and which are lacking? The final TOEFL score can be a foundation for you to define your skill and highlight what still need to be learned a lot. 6. Work with opportunities. No one can know your chance of being abroad for any business. A good TOEFL score will be a plus point in the immigration file. The means officially see your proficiency and understanding of English is recognized according to standards. Almost any country you'll be in, English is the first or second language. Until now, English is still the most popular language to learn. 7. Career path. Do you agree that the world of work knows no boundaries? Broad network sometimes requires us to be able to understand a language other than our main language, Indonesia. With superior English proficiency, it means that you have opened doors of opportunity that are increasingly accessible. English has always been used in various fields, including multinational business. Being an employee with a good understanding of English will be a plus for the company. Thus were the 7 benefits of the TOEFL test for both academic and work. Evidently, there are so many opportunities that will get closer to you if you master English well. One way is through a good TOEFL score so that it becomes an added value for yourself. There is no harm in honing your skill to have a good TOEFL score because it will bring money benefits in the future, not only in the short term, but your understanding of English will you forever become your profession, so you can be different from another. Pronoun or pronouns reflect nouns. You need a different pronouns depending on two things: the noun to reflect and the vacation of noun in the sentence. In English, pronouns are gender dependent only when you replace the noun with the third person singular forms. Second person pronouns are plural, exactly like second person singular, except for reflexive pronouns. Subject pronouns reflect the subject of a clause. In the third person, subject pronouns are often used to avoid repetition of the subject's name. For example, I'm 13 years old.